Welcome to Sunset Tribe. Join us as we kick off an unforgettable adventure on the wild and beautiful west coast of South Africa. For 6 days, we camp on the beach, dive into epic crayfishing, explore hidden gems, and soaking in everything the stunning Kleinsee area has to offer. But all is not smooth sailing. A car breakdown throws a wrench in our plans, adding some unexpected twists to our journey. And of course, we wrap up 2024 with a bang. Fireworks, family fun, and memories that will last a lifetime. Stick around, this is Sunset Tribe.
So this episode we head from the Richtersveld to the west coast. We started our trip this morning at Alexander Bay and headed south to Port Nolloth, and we are now found some camping spots here at McDougals Bay Caravan Park, literally on the sea. Seafront camping sites. I'm just going to unhook the caravan now, but very misty now. I'm sure we'll have a great morning tomorrow morning when the sun rises, and there probably won't be any fog then over the ocean. But we're going to settle in very nice camping spots here. It's not wild camping, but nevertheless. And then start our west coast trip here. We're going to do some running repairs on the vehicles this evening to make sure all the camping gear that the Richtersveld has taken claim, to get everything fixed up for the next stretch of our adventure on the west coast of South Africa. So we've got a bit of running repairs on the vehicles. The rooftop tent, basically the fixings broke out because of the corrugations in the Richtersveld. The tent mountings and the tent itself and those spaces pushed through the metal, basically ripped all the steel out. So I'm just going to put a piece of timber in there to wedge it in to make sure it doesn't loosen up anymore. This one is also giving. Luckily Dan the man had tech screws and he's got washers.
What would we do without that?
We didn't even explain it, because I left my baby grinder spanner at home and he said, you don't need a baby grinder spanner. So he was able to take off the metal cutting disc and put on the timber cutting disc with his hands.
Bare hands.
Bare hands, just like Bear Grylls. Now I've got the timber in, and now I'll put the tech screws in, and then it all should be good in the hood. I'm not sure how impressed my brother is going to be with me about his rooftop tent.
Sorry, good.
But if you don't like it, this one can stay on. We can organize you a new second-hand one. Oh my! Moby lost its guts. It just stopped here, and all of this was hanging underneath. I'm not really even sure what it's supposed to be, because it's just cables looping. But I'm just going to tie it back up, because everything is still working. Yeah.
This will be our last night in a designated camping spot as we go look for wide open spaces on the South African west coast. We make use of the creature comforts of town, order some fish and chips, some lovely wine, and enjoy the evening.
We are in Port Nolloth, and we've been challenged to a fireworks show. So we've decided to bring out the big guns. Okay, staan weg julle kinders.
Okay. Wanneer gaan hy kom?
So big one. We stayed at McDougals Bay Caravan Park yesterday. Yeah, quite nice. And we were challenged to a firework deal. And we shot a few fireworks in the camp here, but the security wasn't very impressed.
No, but it will help if we actually set the rockets free, not keep them down here.
Yeah, bit of a mistake. Anywho, we're heading down to Kleinsee now, and then into the west coast diamond area, where we're not allowed to say diamonds on the radio. Apparently they will lock down on you.
Serious?
Yeah, my dad was saying just don't say anything about diamonds on the VHF.
Okay,
because they are scanning all the channels and all the frequencies.
So what's the code word for shiny little rocks?
Perskus.
Perskus.
Perskus. We'll talk about perskus. And then Yeah, so heading down to Kleinsee. I think we've got all our replenishments. We were able to get some water here.
I need to get some drinking water, we need to get some firewood,
and drinking beer.
some drinking beer, and some ice for drinking beer.
Very good. Stay tuned, our West Coast adventure starts. So all the way down from the main road, coming down into Brazil Bay. We've just arrived on this last piece of probably what's a bit of hard terra firma, and then it's sand track south. But Danny has taken the lead. He's not carrying a caravan, so he's gone past and check if the road is okay and if there's turning points or maybe campsites. So we're just deflating, and then we'll head south and see if we get a nice camping spot for tonight and a few other nights. So we deflated to 1.5 bar, but even this first dune was very thick sand, so the caravan's A-frame is digging into the sand. So we're going to have our first recovery not even 2 kilometers into the west coast.
Not only is it extremely far to get to Kleinsee and the northern west coast, it's also very hard going as soon as you get there, and you have to be well prepared with enough vehicles, recovery gear, and everything you need to get to your camping spot and out again. After fighting the thick sand, we find a perfect spot in a small bay where we can set up camp above the high water mark and settle in for 6 days of relaxing.
So quite an eventful drive from Kleinsee to get here to Brazil Bay. As we drove into Brazil, there was Brazilian people. There was probably the better part of 50 vehicles and just massive camp set up over those dunes about half a k back where it's still a gravel road. So we decided to come in on the four-wheel drive road and see if we can find a nice camping spot. And literally as we went up the first dune, the Nissan got stuck. The only Nissan and 3 cruisers, the Nissan got stuck and I had to be pulled out by a Land Cruiser. So a bit of shit giving that's gonna happen tonight. Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to have a straff top as well for bogging down the patrol with my big old Moby Lodge. But great fun. And as we turn around on the beach, I got stuck again, and then Theo got stuck, so at least one of the cruisers got stuck as well. Yeah, so we're pitching a tent, our camp now. That's the southern wind coming in. So Theo has just parked his car there. He's going to put his bush lopper up here. I've got my Moby Lodge set up there. The patrol with the kids on the roof. Try to level it, but I've just parked it on 2 rocks. Then Danny is going to set up his Land Cruiser over there. He's just got a rooftop tent. And then Ati with his Land Cruiser and his basic camping setup. He's going to pitch his tent there. Unfortunately, it's going to be in a bit of a smoke line there, but we've set up the 2 caravans to be as much of a windbreaker as possible. So yeah, that is about it. It's our first day on the west coast. We're probably going to camp here for just 6 days in nature, take out some crayfish, do some fishing, do some exploring around the area. We'll definitely go back to the crazy crayfish to get some calamari, maybe hike there. Nice little pub there on the beach in Kleinsee. Yeah, but this is the first time in my life that I've ever been out here so far north on the west coast, and I must say I'm looking forward to 6 days spent here. Well, this is another perfect day in Africa. In the west coast of South Africa, the sun is setting. It's 30 minutes past 8, half past 8 in the evening, and the sun is just setting. The setting is just perfect. We had a brilliant Sunday here on the west coast. The kids are still playing. The adults are sitting next to the fire. And to be honest, it just doesn't get any better than this. But brilliant times here. Gonna have another drink with family and then just enjoy the evening. Checking out. Are you ready for some crayfish
Yeah.
diving, my love? Looking forward to it.
Yes, very much.
Yeah, so me and my daughter is going to do some crayfishing this morning. My first time doing it here on the West Coast, so let's see. Her first time as well, so a debut for both of us. Catching crayfish. Now to look for holes that we think they will be in. Our experience is lacking, but our optimism is very high. Let's see. So here we are.
Sitting by the bamboos.
Sitting by the bamboos, looking for crayfish.
Super unsuccessfully.
So far, we'll have to ask the locals.
I haven't got a ball of snot in my face.
Oh, Bella is doing well. First time in the ocean snorkeling, especially on the West Coast. So she's done it on other places, but in the midst of all this kelp or bamboo, it's quite a weird scenery. So you can get, I think a 30-year-old girl could get scared of it.
Yeah.
She's doing it well. I think she's heading out now. So that was a rather unsuccessful first attempt. Was in this bay over here. There's so many bamboo there, sea bamboo and kelp, that you can't see more than half a meter in front of you. But we found a few nice holes in between the bamboo, where it's about 3 meters deep. Went down, didn't see any lobster there, but we'll try again. It was a good first attempt for my daughter as well. Isabel did well snorkeling in the sea bamboo. So yeah, off to the next hole.
In search of the next hole. I think Atti's on the right track there. We're getting right behind those breakers.
Nope, Atti was not on the right track, and we did not find the right track today. Tucking our pride somewhere into our wetsuits, we decided to pack up our flippers and head back to the beach for breakfast and re-evaluating our failed crayfish catching strategy.
So it's a lazy laid-back Sunday here on the West Coast. We did some failed crayfishing attempts this morning. We're not very experienced in it, but still we try at our tender age. Even tried to swim into the deep blue, but it was a miserable failure. As I went in, the current just pushed me to one side and back onto the rocks. So I think we're gonna have to get some professional advice on this one. Danny has just put us another salt rib on the fire. Salt rib is basically an air-dried rib of lamb that's already spiced and it's already on the coals for Sunday afternoon snack. And then yeah, just more of the same, relaxing. We're not going to do any driving today, just chilling here on the beach. It's amazing that you can find wild camping spots like this in South Africa. I'll probably be crucified for sharing these spots, but yeah, I think it's there to be shared, and you have to be well prepared to come out here. Not everybody can do it. Beautiful place, really just stunning.
Seeing that our crayfishing was very unsuccessful, Danny prepares a lamb rib, some kudu fillet bride to absolute perfection, resetting back to our usual carnivore diet.
The next day, we decide to explore the area. We head south through all the dune roads in search of a perfect spot to make breakfast. We have a great day enjoying ourselves. Dune riding, great banter, and then winding up the patrol to make sure I keep up with the cruisers. We drive past numerous abandoned diamond mines on the west coast until we find a perfect spot for breakfast.
A bit of breakfast on the west coast. The plan is to make some bacon, egg burrito, breakfast burritos. So, lovely day, lovely spot. Kids playing in the pools.
Big one. This is from the top shelves. Breakfast burrito, scrambled eggs, diced bacon, caramelized. It's to die for. Very thank you. Very nice.
With a little bit of a view.
These type of places are so hard to come by or to find, where you can just make breakfast on the beach. Kids are enjoying it, but they exist. It's the hard part is finding them. We've been saying the kids over the last week or so, there's no technology, no cell phone reception, but we haven't had a child bitching or moaning about anything because they're just enjoying the outdoors. And I also think that traveling like this, you know, with friends and family, it's in our blood. Is where we came from. It's the nomadic life we used to live hundreds of years ago, where it's a village that raise a child, children running around. One night at this caravan, the next day at that caravan, and that's why it's so enjoyable. It's not the everyday life where we're locked up in our own little house in the towns or in the cities or in the suburbs, wherever that is.
And then, a few moments later, tragedy hits us.
So all did not go well today here on the west coast, and Theo was just driving this little sand track, but it's not even a bad one. There was a massive rock lying underneath the sand, and he hit it with his front right CV joint. That's completely broken off, and then it smashed his prop shaft as well, his rear prop shaft. So this Land Cruiser is completely undrivable. We're gonna have to get it out here somehow. Okay, we're gonna see if we can just get it off this rock. Basically got two max tracks in there. Get it onto the max tracks, then it will probably give us clearance to take off the broken prop shaft and then get it back to the camp. But yeah, I mean, it just hit you in the most unfortunate times when you don't expect it at all. Perfect. Sharp Dan. Kom ons check hom nou eers. Okay, nou is hy teen 'n wiel vas. Fyn, ons van hom afkry.
Graaf nie so.
Pas op die toon. Nee, die graaf nie. this mother trucker.
Jy raak dan. Hallo my liefie. Ek het jou kar mooi opgestop nou.
What do you say, Marijks?
Now I want a new one. Thank you to you.
Kleinsee, we're really sorry about this. We are actually very good clients of yours. This was a real mistake, a real accident. This massive rock hiding underneath the sand here.
Seker maar môre.
Yeah, it's gonna have to be a double toe. We won't get this thing out with one of these guys. Sien jy vir daai ou met stop toe? Solomon,
Ja,
are you proud of yourself?
nou.
Okay, die flasher op al clear. Kan ek maar gaan?
All clear, jy kan gaan. Heavy recovery in the dunes. The Hans pulling me with the patrol.
Okay, so at least we got the cruiser out from there. And we've got it on the sand track. But we're doing a double tow on it. So I'm hooked up with the patrol. And then Danny was pulling the third one. The second vehicle, the double tow. But I got bogged here pretty badly now, as well as Dan. And I snatched Danny out now. And then try to get me out. But the problem with me is I'm also hooked up with Theo, so I can't go forward. I have to go back, and he can't tow me out.
Luckily we could release Danny from the sand trap. He tows my cruiser a little bit closer and then on to the Y62. This recovery takes quite a while to reassemble the train, and off we go to hard ground.
So Solomon, a bit of a problem that we have here.
Yeah, well, with every problem there's a solution. We'll contemplate that tonight. But yeah, we'll organize a low bed tomorrow. We'll come and recover it. And
Put a new prop shaft.
new prop shaft and probably 2 new CVs.
Joints on the front.
Yeah.
But at least we got the cruiser out. We weren't in the high tide mark. We were able to recover it with a bit of a train. Myself and Danny, and then Ati was there to lend a hand. And then we had 2 other friendly guys that just came and gave us some support. Pierre and Rian and his son Armand.
And that's the awesome thing about the camaraderie of the overlanding community.
Absolutely.
Even though we had everything under control, they were so willing to help. They helped us with carrying the max trucks. They helped us with shoveling, advice, always offering to tow.
Yeah, take this road, not that one.
That's what a fraternity to be a part of.
Is het rabies?
Rabies nou.
Soos jou speelgoed,
Wat is dit nou rabies?
amper soets.
Maar hoekom doen julle nou in Jan se kar?
Want ek het papa en mama se kar gebreek.
Hoe gaan ons terug huis toe?
Ons sal dit nog uitfigure dit.
En soos met Jan se kar.
Waar gaan ons sit?
Op jou spit. Wat kan ons vandag doen?
Nee, kop jou pa's nou. Nie lus vir enigiets.
Ja, lus vir bier.
So it's the last day of the year of 2024. It's a misty morning here on the west coast. A lot of mist coming in. We're just back here at Theo's car. We're gonna take the towage off, put it on Danny's vehicle so that he can tow one of the caravans, and then we're gonna tow his Land Cruiser into Kleinsee. Leave it there to see if we can organize a prop shaft and a CV joint. So that's the plan for today, and making progress at least on the last day of the year. That's fun.
On the 31st of December, we are able to organize a lowbed to come all the way from Uppington to return the Land Cruiser to Uppington, Toyota to get mended.
And for his sins, he is forced to wear a red yarmulke. What do you call it?
It's beautiful.
Come closer, show the people.
As the sun sets on 2024, we sit here on the edge of the world, gathered around a fire, reflecting on a year of incredible journeys, from the dusty trails of Mozambique on our 4x4 adventure to unforgettable father and son moments on the motorcycles, and those epic Botswana rides that took us deep into the wild. We also shared some wild camping moments with the kids in the McDougals Mountains, real adventures that brought us closer to nature and to each other. But the year's not over yet, and as the sun dips below the horizon, we're already dreaming of 2025.
More roads to explore, more stories to tell, and countless sunsets waiting for us. The journey is just beginning, and we are stoked for the adventure ahead.
We made a trip to Kleinsee, the big metropolis of Kleinsee, and to fill up with some water, get some more supplies because we're leaving back to Pretoria tomorrow. And but AC Sports Club only closed at 6 AM this morning, so they're still not open. They said they're still only going to open about 2 PM. But we're at Kleinsee Angling Club. Let's see what that looks like. See, it feels like you've time traveled back to the 60s or 70s. I mean, it's mad. There's absolutely nothing. The town looks completely deserted, but everything is still operating. You get the Kleinsee Angling Club, where we're now. AC Sports Club, they've got a clay pigeon shooting, a clay trap shooting course there, handgun range, one of the coldest beers I've had here at Kleinsee. Then you've also got the Crazy Crayfish. It's a pub restaurant right on the beach. And then just outside of town you get the Houtwip, which is a guest farm with camping spots, and which is by all accounts very nice. We'll probably stop there as well. Even in town there's a little coffee shop, a little museum, a taste neighborhood, what do you call that? Like a bakery. Just operating. A small little mall with a boutique, a liquor shop and a superette. And here they've got all the trophies. Angler of the year, and the biggest fish they've caught, steenbras, carp. I don't know where they caught a carp in this neck of the woods. A 4.5 kg galjoen, red stump nose, red Romans. Yeah, very interesting, and you meet some interesting people down here as well. People traveling from East London, people traveling from Gauteng, people traveling from all over the show to come see Kleinsee. And I must say, it's been an absolute eye-opener to see this little place here on the northern west coast.
After an interesting day in Kleinsee, we head back to the beach where Danny prepares us some roosterkoek and we can reflect on our time spent on the west coast here. With so many places to explore in southern Africa, we just don't know when we're coming back. But one thing's for sure, we will definitely see the white beaches and the unforgettable sunsets at least one more time.
Yeah, so it was a bit of a challenge to get out of here. My patrol is still quite low, so the A-frame digs into the sand. So I had to probably give it all 300 horses to muscle this Mobilodge out of there. But everything is still intact. And it's our last morning here. We're leaving the west coast. It's very misty, you can't even see the ocean. Yeah, it's been some experience spending 6 days here on the beach. It was amazing. It's one of the rare gems in South Africa. This place is definitely seeing me again. It's probably about 18 degrees Celsius now. We're heading to Uppington, we'll probably be about 40. So 22 degrees swing where we're going. What an adventure it was. Thanks Theo, thanks Danny, thanks to everybody. It's been a real experience. Righto Dan, ons is uit hierso waar by die ander gekamp het, waar Theo se kar gelos het, so ons is shop. Wat weet nou as daar enige probleme is, maar ek dink julle gaan shop wees.
So the last time you guys joined us, we were having a bit of a hard time with let's say a bit of a disaster in the dunes on the west coast. So it was 31st of December, prop shaft, side shaft gone, and today's the 3rd of Jan. Uppington Toyota opened yesterday, parts arrived today, they replaced the prop shaft, replaced both side shafts, and here we go. So if you're ever in the Northern Cape, there's no better place. Werner and Beulah at Uppington Toyota, thank you so much. So now we're just fitting my tow hitch back on my car. These two grease monkeys are sorting this out quickly. Heading back home, car back in action. Thanks Dan for towing that caravan for the 500 or 600 k's from the west coast to Uppington. And the adventure continues.